Closing tools. Justifying the cost of advertisement for all preferred companies such as AAA, Geico, State Farm. Now, this closing tool is very useful when customers either introduce the idea that they want to call Geico or State Farm or AAA, or that they want to go shop around and possibly shop around with these companies. So your goal is to educate them on the whole concept of the advertisement cost and how much they invest on advertisement, and eventually that money comes from policies. So customers, consumers are going to pay the cost for advertisement, and that's just a general concept in any business. So when customers start introducing, no, let me come back, let me call AAA, let me call Geico, then you're going to tell them, sir, I completely understand. Matter of fact, I have all of those companies on my system. There's a few companies that we don't work with, but I'm able to quote any option, any company that works and is authorized to do business in the state of California. So don't worry, if you want, I could check those options for you. But let me just share something with you. Now, those companies are great, and I have companies with the same quality service. The only problem with a preferred company is that they advertise a lot. I'm not so sure if you've seen all of their commercials, and some of those commercials are hilarious, matter of fact, especially the Geico commercials, or even some of the State Farm and Farmers commercials. So the fact that they advertise so much, someone has to pay for those advertisement costs. Now, it's not the company. Remember, it's a business, so they generate money from customers like you, like me, and we're the ones that pay for all of these costs. Now, just to give you an idea, most of these companies are great, but they're going to charge you a lot more. The reason why they're going to charge you a lot more because they emphasize and they work on charging for their reputation, charging for their name, their brand, and also charging for their advertisement cost. So I can guarantee you, sir, if you want me to check State Farm, I'll check. I'll log into their system real fast since I do have access to quote them, and I'll give you an idea of how much they're going to offer. But you're going to be wasting your time. The reason why, because these companies are going to charge you a lot simply because they have to recover from all of those expenses. And advertisement, we're talking of millions of dollars. I'm not so sure if you know how much a commercial costs, but we're talking of at least minimum of a good $50,000 just to create a commercial. And then every single month to run that commercial through TV, or it could be a radio advertisement method that they're using, but it's going to cost at least anywhere from $5,000 to possibly even $50,000 every single month, depending on how many views they have, how many times are they running their ad or their commercial. So it's gonna cost you a lot of money. So why don't you give me an opportunity? Let me give you an option that's gonna be a lot more affordable. Now, if you want to pay a lot more, why don't we do this? Instead of you paying a lot more on your monthly payment and technically through the course of the year, why don't we add a lot more coverages instead? So instead of you paying for advertisement costs for the brand, why don't we focus on better coverages? If you're willing to spend a little bit more money, let's spend the money on the right category, on the right area. The right area will be benefits, coverages. Let's double all the coverages. Your monthly payment is going to go up an additional $10, $15, and then you leave with more coverages. Now, if your goal is to shop around to find something lower, you're wasting your time because it's going to be a lot more. These companies are not the most affordable companies. You got to keep in mind, similar to Nike, for example. Nike, they already have a reputation. Their brand is very valuable, so their cost for their clothing or their shoes, for anything, for their product in general, may be a little bit more than a different company like Adidas or New Balance or any other competitor out there. Why? Because they've already built a reputation, they've already built a brand, so you're gonna pay for that. So insurance, there's no need for you to pay for brand and reputation and advertisement costs, especially if the reputation and the quality of service is the same as the companies that we offer. So why don't you give me an opportunity? Don't waste your time on checking these companies. I can check for you if you want. It's going to take me a couple seconds. But if you're looking for something more economical, that's the wrong thing to do because they're going to be a lot higher. So use this concept to justify and to close the fact that shopping around with these companies for something lower is the worst thing that they could do, because they're going to waste their time. They're going to pay a lot higher on their monthly payment and their premium, simply because these companies are not cheaper. So why not increase coverages or go with options that are a lot more economical, but maybe with better benefits, instead of paying for any type of advertising costs?